because somehow the Nigerian security forces have not been able to cut off their sources of supply of weapons and of money. And so you have them scattered in pockets in places in this in northern Nigeria, able to organize, able to carry out, able to hold terrorists. I mean, able to hold hostages for not a day or two, for months, are able to even give conditions within Nigeria. Meanwhile, Nigeria has one of the most potent security organization in Africa. And this ragtag army, we've not been able to identify those who are funding them. In fact, when I heard that Boko Haram arrested people are released, it just, for me, the government really needs.
But is that the very point at which the funding of the sect comes to play?
No, you see, when
those releases happened?
No. See, the point is this. If you want to find out who is funding them, it is from the people you've arrested, because those people eat food. Somebody brings the food. Somebody pays them their salaries. From those people you have, you'll be able to track this system. For Hauwa that was just killed, she was somewhere in the northeast. The military have not been able to organize something like a python dance. If you remember 2 years ago, the military said that they were going to train their officers in such a way that they would do specialized area by area cordon off and search situations as a way of dealing with small arms and rising insurgency across the country. We have an area of the country where we have an armed insurrection.
Are you blaming the government for the death of Hauwa?
I'm blaming the government completely, because we have an armed insurrection that is ongoing now for about 9 years.
But the
Nigerian government has not been able to bring it down. You have an army in that area posted. They could not, using the Air Force and the army and the police in that area with the number of people and the amount of resources there, get these people. They make phone calls. You are not able to track them. But even if they are using Turaya phones.
But you did hear what the Minister of Information said, Lai Mohammed, that
I don't listen to him. I don't trust him.
No, this is what he said. He said that the government have tried all possible means.
That's what I'm telling you, that I don't listen to him. As far as I'm concerned, he lies every time.
Able to secure, we must maintain, be careful with the choice of words here. But he said that they tried all means and were unable to secure the release of Hauwa before she was killed. If the government says that they tried all means, what does that mean to you? You have been in the field many times, but do you feel that the government has exhausted all options to be able to come out confidently and say that, okay, they were given just 24 hours, we know, but at the end of it, Hauwa was killed, and the government says that we've opened and we are still keeping our lines open for further negotiations for the rest of the girls to be released. But for this one, this is what happened, and we tried all means to try to ensure that this doesn't happen.
Thank you, Gimba. What are the options open to government as far as resolving or to have saved her life? It's either one, we'll go on a rescue operation, which of course has its consequences, like we all know, or we'll go into negotiations. I will not subscribe to a rescue operation. It wouldn't work. It is a 20-80 probability, chance. Okay? So let's put that aside. We should be looking at, okay, look, let's negotiate. And of course, we'll go through third parties as usual and so on. Like I did mention in my opening brief, the negotiations and whatever the belligerents are putting forth as their request, can we meet it? Do we have enough time to negotiate this downwards? We weigh that with the possibility of, can they carry out this threat within this given time?
But was 24 hours enough for the government to have acted, such that we see that Hauwa was not killed?
Frankly speaking, it wasn't enough. I must tell you this. Because look, government kept open all windows of what's it called
Their
now?
communications.
Communications. Okay. Now, were they able to access us? If they were, or whether through third parties, were they accepting what we were offering on the table? All they just want is money. I can tell you, even without discussing with any government officer. They want money to be able to meet. You remember when this first batch of children from the secondary school were released to us? You know, it brought a very serious problem within the BH camp, Boko Haram camp, which partly was responsible for the split we had. With the emergence of El Bahari now as the new leader, who we are now dealing with, so to speak, he has become so radical because he has now adopted IS model of Islamic utopia, which at the end of the day brings in so much of cruelty to bear on the whole issue. Giving us 24 hours to be able to negotiate this girl's release out is too short a time, except if you want to use her as an example to prove to us how serious you are. And I want to believe that was what they did. Because now that keeps us now panicking. Oh, this girl, Leah, is still there. What of the other abductees that are still there? And so on. They want to put us in such a situation that, look, we have no other option now than to just hurry the sums of money they want and pass it on to them.
Let's just maintain your line of thoughts. We're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue along that trajectory. Sunrise Daily will be back in just a moment. Join us again.